All right, welcome back, guys. This is AOA, and this is AOA The Shed. Today we got Jesse and Outlet.
What's up?
Shit. All right, guys, we're going to talk about middle school. What type of person were you at this point in your life?
I guess, I went to Portage, yeah. I went to Portage, I was quiet too. I was just like really white, and I felt like it wasn't like, I don't know. Portage was pretty bad for me because I felt like I was pretty sheltered up until that point. And then I was like, I don't know, it was just a little bit rough. I got bullied a little bit, and I wanted to change schools and shit. And at that point in my life, there was a lot of shit going on because my parents divorced. So I'm like moving and shit, and I'm like, I want to move schools. Like, I don't like Portage. I go to Imagine. I don't know if did you grow up here?
I moved here later.
Okay. Well, there was this middle school called Imagine. I went there. The shit was it was all right. There was like dress codes and shit. You had to wear like khakis and collared shirts and whatnot. But yeah, middle school was it was rough for me.
What year is middle school? Fourth grade?
No, it's 5th grade to 7th and 8th.
5th, 7th, 8th?
Yeah.
5th, 6th, 7th, 8th?
You were
7th and 8th grade were rough. 7th and 8th grade, like, academically, I struggled.
Were you just not interested in school?
Hell no. I did not give a damn about school. And then, like, 5th and 6th, because our school switched from what? 6th grade you start, or 7th grade you start going to a new school?
Yep.
With all the, like, junior, senior high school. And, yeah, no, I was just way too much going on in school in general. Like, fights happening at lunch and shit. Like, that was hilarious. That was, like, made the years and shit.
Mm-hmm. I hated school too, bro.
I hated school.
I could not focus.
The teachers were fucking horrible.
Yeah.
To be real.
And you said Portage is where you grew up, and you're in Fort Wayne?
He was Portage.
Yes.
And you were Fort Wayne or Leo?
Leo, yeah. Leo, Indiana. Like North Fort Wayne.
Well, how would you describe that area, you guys? Like, how would you describe Portage itself, and how would you describe Leo itself?
Portage was just kind of like...
Wealthy.
Where you were? Yeah, Portage was just a shitty, like, typical public school. Like, just kind of ghetto, you know? Like, it's just how Fort Wayne is.
What side of Fort Wayne is it? Where is it at?
It's not in the really bad side. It's kind of by Jefferson Point. I lived like literally right down the street from there at one point. That apartment I had. I don't know if you. I don't know if you ever went there, but
yeah,
it was literally on that street, that school.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I remember that. You didn't live there long though, did you?
3 months.
I was gonna say.
But let's say we get into the high school years. How was high school? Was it any different?
Worse.
It was a lot better for me. I made a lot more friends
throughout high school.
I was too later. Well, high school was good for me in the beginning, but my mom had cancer, so like, and she passed when I was in high school.
Sorry.
So it was good in the beginning because I made a lot of friends and I felt like kind of at place. I went to like a small school, so the people were cool and shit. But yeah, after she passed, I was same fucking thing. I was literally going to parties and like blacking out. I was trying to drink as much as I could to black out, which is a weird thing to do. Like,
yeah, that's a lot of. I feel like we did that too.
I used to do it so much that I'd be like, I was so angry because of what happened.
Yeah.
So I would black out and I'd be like really mean. And I
think you acted a fool.
Yeah. I'd be like,
sometimes I act like a fool drunk, for sure.
What led you to the alcohol you said in high school, which was different in middle school? Like, what just changed for you? The parties, was it? The environment? Like, what would you say?
I want to say I partied a lot. Like, went to parties a lot. It was just me and my friend group. Got drunk all the fucking. We used to, like, spend the night, like, on, like, a school night and they, like, get drunk in the morning before school. Like, 10th grade. I remember doing that shit. That shit was fun.
I went to a lot of parties, like, my junior year. My friends, they're the ones that had me going. I didn't even go to parties like that because we didn't have them.
I hated partying. I
loved them because I would get fucked up and I was trying to get girls and shit. And I don't know. I just liked alcohol a lot. So yeah, the parties are cool. Especially, parties were really big for me after I started making music, because that's when you meet a lot of people and shit. But that wasn't really till after high school.
Yeah, that's true. Bigger parties were after high school.
Hell yeah. So then now let's say we move out of high school.
Yeah.
What are you doing after that? Are you working a lot, not putting out a lot of music, making a lot of music?
That's probably when I started taking music seriously, or very motivated into it at least. Because I started making music 10th grade probably, but just kind of fucked around on FO and shit. And then after high school, I put those first 2 years of doing it just like every other night, you know. Started doing it every night, like after high school, and just making music constantly and like just trying to perfect the craft. And now it's, yeah. What was the question?
No, you answered it.
I did.
Yeah.
I wasn't even making songs until I met my friend JJ. I met him at a fucking party, and I was about to move to Texas with this kid. Like, I was literally just running away for no reason, like just stupid shit. I was a teenager, like I fucked up a lot. I was like, I'm gonna go start fresh down in Texas, whatever. But I met JJ, and we made so much music like 2 weeks before I left. Like, I'd just get bottles and I'd go to his house, and he's the first one that got me to sing. He was like, bro, we should just try and make a song. Like, and I was like, all right. And I did, and I was like, wow, this is cool. I had like that same feeling when I made like a beat out like for the first time, and like, you know, you just listen to that shit over and over and over. You're like, oh my god, this is amazing. So I was like, okay, this is hard, but yeah. After that, I went to Texas. That was cool. The music was cool. Living there wasn't very cool, but the music.
Touch on that. Why wasn't it cool? Everything else seemed to be going.
Just cause like I lived with my friend and his family, so it was like I was kind of like I felt out of place.
I get you.
But the music scene down there was really cool. Like, it was really different. I don't know if you know Splurge. Like, it was like the no melody beat like kind of era, like at that time, and there was a lot of artists that like were starting to bubble up there, and I didn't understand it at first. Like, I went to this kickback and they had a Splurge playing, and it's just this dude rapping over like just an 808, a hi-hat, and a clap, and they're all like going. They're like, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, this is kind of trash. And then it's just a vibe though. Like, everyone supports it. Like, people really support local artists on there. Mm-hmm. And like, once someone gets a buzz, like, they ride hard for them. Like, it's really cool. And I got into it. Those beats are so easy to make. Like,
yeah.
I met this dude, Lil Lyric, down there, and he started coming to my place, and I'd make a beat in literally like 2 minutes, and he started punching. He'd do punching like songs, and so he'd punch in like 4 words. So I'd have a song, and I wasn't rearranging shit. So like, you know, the vocal tracks would be like all the way fucking down, like
60 tracks.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, god damn, like making this shit or fucking with the after is so hard.
Yeah, it's so hard to do, dude. It makes it so much more difficult when people punch in on FL. Yeah. On FL, at least, I don't know any other DAWs.
There's ways that you can set it up to where it would like line. I didn't know how to mix at the time.
I suck on the computer, but FL is one thing I'm good at. Yeah, to an extent.
Shit.